we're taking you on a trip to the beautiful peninsula that we kindly refer to as Michigan's Thumb. As a matter of fact, we'll spend our time discovering the incredible park system and stop at one of the most beautiful port cities on the Great Lakes, Port Sanilac. Let's get started.
Production of Great Getaways is made possible in part by Rocky's Great Outdoors. Located in Burton, Michigan, Rocky's carries a complete line of motorcycle, snowmobile, camping, and hiking gear, including canoes and kayaks. Forward Corporation, operating over 30 complete convenience centers, motels, and restaurants across Northeast Michigan.
Our trip starts with a drive up the coast on scenic M25, glimpsing Lake Huron along the way. We soon arrive at our first stop, Lexington Park. This 27-acre parcel is located 3 miles north of Lexington, right on Lake Huron and M25, and features a picnic area, tennis courts, a swimming beach, playground equipment, restroom and showers, pavilion, and horseshoes. There are 2 parts to the park, and they are connected by a scenic wooden bridge. Park manager Sherry and her husband Mike share their thoughts on this perfect little park.
Oh, that mulberry tree, I don't know if you can zoom in on that mulberry tree, but this couple 14 years ago, when they met and so on and so forth, they can remember coming up here when they were little kids. And when the only place they wanted to get married was underneath that mulberry tree, which they did. 2 months ago, they got married underneath the mulberry tree. So we do weddings, graduation parties. Well, they should come here because of
peace and quiet.
It's peaceful. It's natural. There's access to the beach. They can get to Lake Huron. Of course, Mike and I are charming personalities.
It's a piece of heaven. You wake up in the morning, the sun's coming up over the lake. It's just gorgeous. I think the biggest blessing here is the people you run into. There's been so many wonderful people we've become friends with and talked to.
We met with Bob Woods from the Sanilac County Parks for more information on this perfect little park.
The Lexington Park, and for the last 4 years, has just been a day-use park. Before that, we had 42 sites, I think, here, and maybe a third of those were full-time or seasonal camping. Now it's still busy on weekends and with the pavilions and the beautiful beach that we have here, and a lot of family reunions, weddings, and that type of thing.
After a walk on the beach, we moved on to our next destination. We heard that Port Sanilac was a treasure just waiting to be discovered and wanted to find out for ourselves if that was true. Come on along and you be the judge. We'll just touch on many of the things to do in Port Sanilac on today's show, but keep an eye out in the future as we will be dedicating a whole show to Port Sanilac. Here is owner of Port Sanilac Marina to tell us more about the race that happens on Friday nights throughout the summer.
We're getting ready for the big race. We're actually out here right now with Chester, and we're out of the boat he's going to be racing on. First of all, give me an idea of what kind of boat we're sitting on right now.
Well, we're sitting on a Hunter 49. It's a family cruiser racer type boat. It's a much larger boat than we normally deal with, but it's sort of the queen of the fleet for the type of boats we sell.
Okay, now we're going to take these, you're going to move out into the water at this point?
Oh yeah, in about less than 10 or 15 minutes there'll be a number of boats leaving the dock, and then our race course is right behind us right here on Lake Huron. And there's a series of 5 buoys, but we'll only be going around 3. It's a triangular type course. The course tonight's about 5.1 miles long. We'll head to the north. We'll round the buoy to the north, which is our B mark. Then we'll head due south another 2 miles to what we call our D mark. And then we'll make it back to the A mark where we started, which gives us a complete triangle, which is about 5.1 miles long. The reason I say 5.1 exactly because these races are based on a handicap, and the handicap is based on the performance of the boat and the distance of the race. Because if it's a longer race, boats have to have a bigger handicap. It's all computed on time, on distance.
Okay, now you're talking about a handicap, so we're going to see a variety of types of boats out here?
Oh, absolutely. You'll have boats that could be 20 foot long to 49 foot long. They could be race boats, they could be cruising boats, they could be family liverboats. There's a variety of boats out here. In fact, most of the boats in this harbor are not really race boats. They're more this type of boat where people use them more for their weekend cottage. A lot of our customers are from the Flint, Lansing, Detroit, Ann Arbor, and they decided that they want to actually live on their boat on Lake Huron rather than have a cottage and pay their taxes and mow the lawn and that kind of thing. This way they got literally a cottage that they can sail.
Okay. Now, how long does the race normally take?
Well, tonight it won't be any longer than an hour and a half. This is a little bit of what I would call unorthodox racing. Most sailboat racing is sanctioned by U.S. Sail, which is a racing organization that sanctions races in the United States, but this isn't really that type of race. This is more of a fun thing. We call it a beer can series, and the reason we say beer can, it's a typical term in the sailboat world. We're just going out there to have some fun. We're not out there to go great guns and beat the next guy. We just want to get our boat out of the slip, go around the race course and have some fun, and go back to the bar and have a beer.
Well, Chester, the first one now has just gone around the buoy.
That's correct.
Now, you mentioned this is probably the fastest boat out here today?
Yeah, well, it's a multi-hull, and there's a difference between multi-hulls and mono-hulls. We got one multi-hull and one mono-hull, meaning that multi-hull, if you can zoom in on it, you can see it's got 3 hulls. And the 3 hulls means it does not have to have a keel. It's a lot lighter. It's probably I'd say a fifth of the weight of that boat. The boat that's coming up here now is about a 35,000-pound boat. That boat's about 5,000 pounds, so big difference. And so the lightness of the boat makes it so much quicker, except it cannot go into the wind, so in turn it has to travel more distance, but it can go about twice as fast.
Okay, so it can still pretty much beat a mountain normal.
Yeah, no question about it. If it's sailed right, it should be able to beat any monohull.
Now, how does it seem that we're doing tonight? The weather seems to be pretty good. We haven't got a real strong wind, but it's going good.
No, it's a beautiful night. I mean, this is what it's about, getting out on the water, enjoying the beautiful Lake Huron breeze, the clean water, the fresh air. It couldn't be better.
It really could. Now, I tell you what, too, being out here and watching these things go flying by is really exciting. It's really something to see. Chester, for people coming up here and wanting to watch this race, what's the best way for them to do it?
Well, just come up on any Friday night from Memorial Day through Labor Day, and a lot of people think they have to have a boat to get involved. But you'll find that most of these people are looking for crew that own the boat. You know, I can't guarantee it, but most times if you show up on the waterfront and you're willing and able and capable, somebody will take you on board and you can just start handling the lines and go for a boat ride, and next thing you know, you got a new friendship and you get a chance to get on board.
Okay, for those of those who don't want to get on the boat, can they still see it?
Oh yeah, there's a nice restaurant overlooking the harbor, beautiful balcony view. You can just sit out there and have a cocktail and watch the race.
Okay, we got the here coming through right now. He's been around.
Now, if he would have hit that buoy, which he just missed, he would have been disqualified. Oh, you cannot touch the buoy. Well, if they do touch the buoy, they got to go around it twice.
Port Sanilac is home to the Sanilac Shores Underwater Preserve. This marine museum is home to a number of historical shipwrecks, including the Regina, a 250-foot steel package freighter that sank in the fierce gale of 1913. Diving charters are available from the Port Sanilac Harbor. When you stop in, you'll be amazed at the big freighters as they glide silently by. Stop at the Farmers Market each Friday to experience a feeling of community like no other. At the Port Sanilac Farmers Market, you'll be able to meet the men and women who grow and make the foods and crafts you buy. The Port Sanilac Farmers Market is a strict producer's market. This means that all the goods must be made and grown within Sanilac, Huron, or Tuscola County. After a long day on the water, you won't want to miss a wonderful dinner at Yuri's Restaurant located on the second floor of the Port Sanilac Marina overlooking beautiful Lake Huron.
We have people that walked in here, I don't know how many times this week, and said, we're coming into town visiting and we heard you had some great food, we wanted to come and check you out and make a reservation. They're from way across the state, they're from Canada, they're from, you know, all over the place. I think you just need to make sure that people are welcomed the minute they walk in the door and they know that they're going to be taken care of, and that's one of our things. We have, everybody comes in here and they said they just love the atmosphere, they love the staff. I think having all those good things and making sure people are comfortable and happy when they leave, that's one of our goals.
And if you look across Lake Huron here, we're right across from the Bruce Peninsula, which seems like miles and miles away when you're looking over the water, but if you get in a car, you're talking an hour away and you can be over in Michigan, totally different country, totally different atmosphere, and then you can go right back home. So we're seeing more and more of that, especially with the Canadian dollar being as strong as it is. We're seeing more and more Canadians come in.
Yeah, we're going through a couple 100 pounds of whitefish, or of walleye and perch and bluegill now, so it's nice. Not to mention, we're a seafood steakhouse too, so if you love a good thick steak or Saturday night a prime rib, this is the place to be. So.
Port Sanilac draws antique boat buffs from near and far when they have their annual Antique Boat Show. Port Sanilac Antique Boat Show features over 34 antique and classic boats on display at Port Sanilac Harbor. Boaters and spectators alike are amazed by the variety and quality of the various crafts. Boats ranging from a lovely little dinghy to a 57-foot yacht invite people on board for tours, races across the lake, and to show off their craftsmanship. There are two public beaches in Port Sanilac. The Village Beach can be found north of the downtown area, tucked in behind the Lutheran Church. This beach features a small public park and picnic facilities. The second beach is adjacent to the DNR boat launch. Located on the north side of the North Harbor breakwall, it offers a spacious beach and plenty of parking. Both beaches offer wonderful places for the families to spend the afternoon in the sun and water. Port Sanilac is a popular fishing destination. Perch are widely available, as well as salmon and walleye. The DNR boat launch offers a convenient place to leave from. It also features a public cleaning station, complete with stainless steel cleaning stations. Parking is available with room for 129 vehicles. It also has restrooms. Fishing charters are available out of Port Sanilac Marina. For the little kids in the boat list, there's always fishing off the breakwall. You can catch perch, catfish, and there's always a million gobies. Port Sanilac is home to 2 marinas and public dockage. Port Sanilac Harbor of Refuge is a full-service public dock facility. The Port Sanilac public docks are a premier destination for boaters on Lake Huron. The Port Sanilac Harbor Commission are gracious hosts to each of the boaters who visit Port Sanilac. The Port Sanilac Marina is a full-service marina offering everything from boat sales and storage to full-service and maintenance facilities.
We'd like to welcome you to Port Sanilac Marina. As you can see behind us, we've got about 120 wells available for both sailboats and powerboats. We get quite a few sailors out of the harbor here because it's easy access to beautiful Lake Huron and deep water sailing. And then we also get quite a few fishermen because the fishing has really gotten better in Port Sanilac in the last 5 years or so. Along with that, as Chester mentioned, we have a full service marina, so we can essentially provide all the amenities that any boater would want. And it's a very relaxed community, so you're really on vacation when you're up here.
Port Sanilac offers long-term dockage services. Kayak and paddle boat rentals are available for day trippers who stop at Port Sanilac.
A lot of people that aren't boaters think, well, they cannot come down and enjoy the waterfront. Well, we try and make ourselves available to anybody and everybody, especially the landlubbers. You don't have to own a boat to enjoy the waterfront. Right behind the camera here, we have a really nice ice cream store. We have many locals that come down in from the farmlands just for ice cream on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon, and they stroll the docks and watch the boats. Or if you happen to be a little more adventurous, you can actually get in a little kayak here for $15 and go out and actually experience the water. Or if you have your own inflatable or your own fishing rod, you can walk right out on the breakwater. You don't have to be a boater to enjoy Port Sanilac Harbor or Port Sanilac Marina.
The town is one of the most historic in the state, with the longest continued operating hardware. The Raymond Hardware was established in 1850 by Uri Raymond on the beach of the town then known as Bark Shanty Point. From that location, Mr. Raymond sold hardware and supplies shipped in from Cleveland. In 1868, Uri Raymond bought the sales shop at 29 South Ridge Street, the present location of Raymond Hardware, and relocated his store to where it sits today. Marlette is known as the heart of the thumb due to its location. It is a small community and is a very closely knit rural community and is only an hour drive from several urban centers such as Saginaw, Bay City, Flint, and Port Huron. Here we met with Jim Murkowski from the Sanilac County EDC.
Well, Jim, it's really nice to be here in Marlette this morning, and we're here at the Tourist Information Center, and you kind of consider Marlette one of the gateways here to Sanilac County.
Yeah, that's true. Marlette is a great place. As you're coming into Sanilac County, which is about 3 miles south of Marlette, this gateway and this tourism center is something that you want to stop at to get the proper information to see all of the secrets of Sanilac County. Sanilac County is one of the secrets of Lower Michigan. It's extremely close to Detroit, and we have a lot of artists, we have woodworkers here, we have a lot of things. Of course, we have our beautiful shoreline, but in these towns are some of the greatest secrets that are in Michigan. That you'll find that the hospitality here, the people that are here, are the essence of what makes up a great county.
Well, I know the times that I've been here, I've really enjoyed it and really enjoyed the people. I want to say again, this is a good spot to start because, as Jim just mentioned, there's a lot of things you can do here, and this is the spot to come to get some of that information.
That's right. This tourism center, the people that have put it together, the Historical Society spent a lot of money putting together this railroad depot that's in Marlette. Marlette is famous for one thing, is Moore's ice cream. It seems like everybody, even around the nation, knows about that.
Well, good. Well, I'd like to take a look around, maybe pick up a little bit of that information and get my trip started.
I think you should, Tom. It's great to have you here.
We left the Travel Center to discover more about Marlette with Sandy Katie from the Marlette Chamber of Commerce. Traveling through downtown, you will find everything you need for your trip. One of our stops was the Sisters in Quilting. This little shop not only offered everything you would need for quilting, but it also offered classes for bettering your hobby and even served lunch. As I walked the streets, I noticed an artist painting a mural on the side of a brick building that, when finished, would represent the town and its history. There are great little gift shops for souvenirs of your trip, and if you needed to get online, you can have a bite and surf the web at the Cyber Cafe. As we travel to new places, we like to know that in case of emergency, that all our needs will be met. Marlette has a state-of-the-art hospital that is only a short distance from either Port Sanilac or any of the campgrounds in Sanilac County. Remember earlier when Jim was talking about the famous Moore's ice cream? Well, I had to know if it was really that good. So we stopped by to give it a try, and it was even better than Jim had said.
Marlette Community Park is a great place for families to stop and stretch their legs as they travel through the thumb of Michigan. Our park has a community pool and these pavilions behind me, which are available for reservations for family reunions and other gatherings. Marlette Community Park is only a half hour from northern Metro Detroit, so you can host all of your family gatherings right here at our pavilions. Our park also consists of ball diamonds, basketball courts, tennis courts, sand volleyball courts.
We have learned so many great things about Sanilac County Park System that we wanted to see for ourselves just how nice they were. So we planned not only to tour each one, but to spend time playing in each one. Our stop was Evergreen Park, located along M53 with the Cass River running through it. Our guide will be Jim Bowerman, one of the board of directors. It is the only park that's actually inland. We do have a river out here that runs through?
Right.
What river is that?
That's the Cass River.
Okay.
And there's several varieties of fish in the Cass River. People come here and fish, and this campground is a little quieter campground. It's, as you can see, developed huge trees in it over the years. And when I walked through here with a forester, when we were doing the development of the park, one of the things he told me is there's more of a variety of trees right here in this area than he's seen anywhere in the thumb of Michigan.
Wow, no kidding. Now, how many sites do you have in the park here?
We have 147 sites. We have 52 full hookup sites, which sewer, water, and electric. We have some, I think there's 5 50-amp services in here. Then you drop down to the water and electric sites, and then you can go down to the rustic sites, which are right down off the river.
Okay, so good variety.
Yes.
Now, what else do you have here that people are going to enjoy?
Well, I think it's the peace and quiet, basically, is one of the things we have here at this campground. And we have some water slides up there that we provide for the children, young people, and if they don't want to go fishing. And you can go about 2 miles if you walk the trails in here all the way out to 53 and back. It's almost a 2-mile walk or bike ride.
Okay, so they can get out and stretch a little bit and enjoy the solitude that you have out here.
Right.
Now, I noticed when we were coming in, there's a pavilion, or a couple of them as we came in, and also a good opening to the river for people that want to come down, just cast into the river there?
That's correct. And there's no charge. If they want to come in and pull up to the river and, you know, fish, they can come in and fish anytime they want to. If they camp down there, they just have to come up and report at the office.
This 68-acre parcel offers a quiet and scenic getaway in the heart of Michigan's Thumb area. Located 9 miles north of M46 along M53, it is adjacent to the Cass River and the 23 species of fish that cohabit that waterway. It was time to move on to our next stop, Forester Park. Located 6 miles north of Port Sanilac on M25 along the scenic Lake Huron shoreline, this 68-acre facility offers 190 camping sites, a handicap-accessible shower building, a park store, a park arcade, a swimming beach, along with nature trails, playground equipment, a basketball court, and fishing. Another board member, Arthur Severance, and park manager, John Stefan, were there to meet us and tell us more about the park.
Well, I think this is one of the oldest parks. I know it's the oldest park here in Sanilac County, and it's basically the park that has generated the revenue for a couple of the other parks. It's big. In my mind, it's big. I mean, there's 180 some sites, I believe. And we try to keep the fees down so that people can afford it. We want Sanilac County Park people to come, especially, but we're welcoming everybody. Especially we're right on the main line between Metro Detroit and Harbor Beach and up in the tip of the thumb, Port Austin. So we feel we have a good exposure. Well, we have cabins here that we rent. I mean, we have playgrounds. We have a lake out here that is good for swimming. Sometimes the water is cold, but it's a good swimming. I believe we have basketball courts, tennis courts. We have horseshoes. We have 2 pavilions that we rent out all the time, plus the round pavilion, which you'll probably be taking pictures of later, which is a round enclosed pavilion that's been here since in the late 1930s. And with this round pavilion is used every Saturday night for a gospel sing, and other times it's used for family get-togethers and so on.
Our trip through Sanilac County has taken us full circle as we end our day in Port Sanilac for their weekly Music in the Harbor. Every Saturday night from June 26th through September 4th from 7 to 9 p.m., you can enjoy music of all kinds from jazz to folk. We thought it was only fitting to end our day with some of that great music as we strolled through the town to say goodnight. Well, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, as it is with this trip and today's show. If you enjoyed today's show and would like more information for your own great getaway, you can get a free guide. It's available from the number on your screen. We have added a new feature on our site for your enjoyment and to give you more information about our trip, to help you plan your own. We have added extra video content that we did not have time for in today's show, including extended clips on features from this episode and completely new adventures and stops. And I think that's going to about do it for the day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Production of Great Getaways is made possible in part by Rocky's Great Outdoors. Located in Burton, Michigan, Rocky's carries a complete line of motorcycle, snowmobile, camping, and hiking gear, including canoes and kayaks. Forward Corporation, operating over 30 complete convenience centers, motels, and restaurants across Northeast Michigan.